Otto strolled outside. The sun was just beginning to break through the forest around the cabin. He was still startled by the thing he saw last night. After that, he couldn't get to sleep. Any sound caused him to stir. Hidden in the trees around him was a small, strange little creature. It had long arms and dense fur over its body. Laughing, it plotted what it was about to do to the poor, unaware Boggart. Welcome to Mythical Phylogeny, adventurers. I'm your guide, Jason. Today, we look at the Boggart, a wretched little creature which has plagued many people over the years. Let's take a look at what it is and how to handle it. Boggart originates from English folklore. I'd wager that your first encounter comes from Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, correct? Well, how accurate is the depiction there? Sadly, only partially. Boggarts are a subspecies of goblins, part of the hobgoblin subgroup. They are said to be usually small, up to the size of a small calf, with long arms and covered in thick fur, and chooses to be solitary. If this sounds familiar, well, they are said to be similar to the brownie we covered last week. And there are stories where the brownie becomes a boggart. We'll look at that in a bit. The boggart has also said to be the root of the boogeyman. It has often been used by parents to scare their children into behaving. We'll need to look at their behavior first. They are malicious creatures, prone to prank and trick people. They'll sneak into your house, steal the sheets off your bed while asleep, put cold, clammy hands on your face. They'll sour the milk, make dogs go lame, and make things disappear. They have a tendency to chew on wood like a termite, and can damage the furniture. Maybe even take the baby from their crib and put them on the floor. But occasionally, their actions will become more hostile. They have a tendency to go after one person and follow them. Usually, the trigger event will be some sort of transgression, usually the result of being teased or someone disturbing their home. Boggarts make their homes in bogs, swamps, and deep forests. The boggart in Harry Potter did keep its most prominent ability. It is a shapeshifter. It takes different forms to scare people. Beasts are common, but there is another more common option. It'll take its head off and chase after you with a headless body. It'll even throw its head after you. Sometimes it'll take the form of a will-o-wisp. That's a lot to begin with. Let's start with whether a brownie can turn into a boggart. Both are prone to getting mad at people who insult them. The boggart just happens to be easier to do so. They also have the same small size, long arms, and long hair. But there is a difference. Brownie will sit on an iron pot holder called a brownie sway or seat. Yet iron happens to be a weakness of the boggart. So no, it seems that the boggart and brownie are in fact two different species, but closely related, like chimpanzees and bonobos. If they are the same species, then the transformation changes their nature and resistance to iron. It seems to trade the resistance to iron for shapeshifting. Does that sound like a fair trade? Yet the boggart is also said to have a weakness to salt. Salt is said to be a sign of new beginnings and making pacts. It is also used to purify and absorb negative energy, and the boggart has plenty of the last one. So, after that, we have the boggart's legendary shape-shifting powers. It goes after common fears when it changes forms. Savage wolves, bears, and so forth. Easy to predict. Anyone seeing a headless body running down the road would be scared, yes? Especially when it throws its head. All this is because of its shape-shifting. To take off its head, it is probably removing a section of fur which it can throw about. It will shape it to look like the head. Meanwhile, it hides its real head within the body. If not that, then we have a real shapeshifter. It will need to be able to reshape its body, organs, bones, nerves, and respiratory system. The big problem for removing the head would be blood flow and nerve connections back to the body. It'll need to seal the openings to prevent blood loss. But without heart, blood won't circulate, creating a small respiratory setup in the nose area and throat would help fix that. A similar setup on the body, but will leave the larynx open to bring in air. Nerves are an issue. You usually have nerve conduction from the brain to the body and back. If the head is separated, nothing comes down from the brain. Now, there is a workaround. There are things called ganglia in the body. These are a collection of nerve cell bodies outside of the brain. In a similar idea, it is a mini brain. If these are improved a bit, you can have the body operate without the brain attached. Can the Boggart's body and head know where each other is? Is there a telepathic connection? Perhaps. And without it, how would the body know where to go to pick up its own head? I mean, close your eyes and toss a ball. Now, without opening your eyes, go find it. Think you could find it? Now try that outside. Good luck ever finding it. The head and body will need to be rejoined eventually. If not, its ability to eat will be difficult. The Boggart is often tricked. A common story talks about a farmer who bought some land, but part of it belonged to a Boggart. The farmer spoke with the Boggart and made a deal with it. They agreed to split the crops in half, but not evenly. The farmer offered either what was above ground or what was below ground. The Boggart chose the half underground. So, the farmer planted wheat. When divided up, the Boggart got nothing, and the farmer the important parts. Next year, the Boggart's choice was half above ground, and the farmer planted potatoes. There are many tales of Boggarts being tricked in such fashions. Of course, I'm betting that you can guess what the Boggart started doing afterwards. Can we see a cause for the Boggart's demeanor? Why be such a mischievous menace? It is possible that they are just looking for fun, or they may think they are enacting justice by their own moral standards. Goblins and fairies have their own sort of laws. Many are very different than humans have, which have led many misunderstandings. Be careful with them. Many say that the reason the Boggart acts the way they do is because they have a natural dislike of humans. Perhaps from how humans and fairy laws work, or is it from mistreatment from humans, which have caused a brownie to become a Boggart? What sounds more likely to you? So, what happens in a fight with a Boggart? First off, most Boggarts will go after those who have angered them, tricked them, or wronged them. Anything can set them off. So, first step is to avoid them and not anger them. If you do, they will chase you forever. But there are tales of people tricking the Boggart to leave them. Yeah, right. It doesn't have to be you that angers the Boggart. Anyone can do it. And you can land its ire by bad luck. Well, there are two options which are most commonly spoken of. Iron horseshoes hung on the wall and salt placed at the door. The horseshoe is said to collect good luck and ward off the Boggart, but also serve as a brownie seat. How convenient. Salt has often been a commodity, but an important one. Is getting rid of a Boggart worth spending some salt? Well, the Boggart is more annoying than dangerous. Its pranks will frustrate and anger you, but unlikely to cause real danger. So, your choice. If this works, you can get rid of the Boggart without too much difficulty. But what if you don't know it is a Boggart? What if you are being chased by the Boggart? It takes the form of an animal and comes after you on the road. Well, You can use your weapons to fight back. Boggart is weak to iron. So the weapon you got at the local blacksmith's will subdue it. But what if it chases you and throws its head at you? Keep it. Grab the head and run away. Barter with it. The Boggart will want its head back. How long can its head survive away from its body? A few days probably? I'm sure you can use this time to make quite the bargain with the Boggart. But as a shapeshifter, it might be able to pull its head back towards its body, or turn it into something more dangerous. You'll need to be careful of that, but you should be able to force it to negotiate. What would you want? If you face the Boggart, you can try tricking it. Make it think it's getting one thing, but let it be something else. This may require you to put up with the Boggart for a bit, but you can lay a trap. Setting a circle of salt may block its advancement on you and hold it back. On the magical front, all spells are on the table. Ice will probably be the most powerful, as it will restrict its movements and may trap it. This could stop its shape-shifting powers. It is physically strong, but without its shape-shifting, it lacks natural weapons. You should be able to get by with only gambeson or a shield for protection, but no harm going overboard with chainmail or plate armor. The Boggart's tricks and pranks can be a hassle, but unlikely to be dangerous. Even its attacks only pose a small threat. Unless a prank takes a terrible turn, you could be able to handle the Boggart without too much difficulty, and why I'm giving the Boggart a 2 of 10 for difficulty. If you plan ahead and don't let it rile you up or scare you, you should be able to put the Boggart down without too much difficulty. What can you gain from a Boggart? From their body? Not much. Some fur that can be used in some sewing, but they aren't big enough to get much from that. Nor would I want to eat one. But could you recruit one? It'll be a headache, and little to gain. You could let them loose on a foe. It'll give them a nightmare to deal with, but would it be a serious issue? Probably not. Would you think it could help in your endeavors? Now, can a Boggart be turned into a brownie again? Heal its heart from wrongs done to it? Make it feel forgiveness and remorse about what has happened? Maybe. It'll be difficult, and would take time if it is even possible. What do you think? Alto looked about as something growled. His eyes scanned the trees as a massive bear stepped out of the forest behind the house. It roared of the bard. Panic set in, and he took off. Alto didn't think, and only reacted. He didn't think about getting in the house, only about getting away from the bear. His feet pounded on the ground in his haste. At that moment, he just kept moving. Far behind him, the Boggart laughed at the scared human as he fled into the forest. Watching the bard flee was the old woman, a twisted smile on her face. Boggart is scary, but far from dangerous. As long as you don't give in to its pranks, you can get past it. Thank you for watching, adventurers. Please return next week, where we'll meet the Spider-Woman, Jorogumo. Until then, I'll see you on the roads.